Welcome to the Productivity Academy Weekly Q&A number 103. It is the 5th of December 2019, and just wanted to say welcome. And if you're watching live, feel free to ask a question. I'll check those as we go. If you're catching the replay, you can find the link down below and come join us live and ask questions and get answers. Also, if you're checking it out on YouTube, you can hit subscribe if you want to stay up to date with these Q&A videos, as well as other content that I put out for the Productivity Academy around time management, organization, tools, apps, team building, all that sort of good stuff. So let's get into it today. Going to keep it short. Just had the holidays on my mind after Thanksgiving here in the U.S. Getting a lot done, coming back, and it's that time of year where Christmas is right around the corner. And as we go ahead, we're like, okay, we got time. And if you sit down and look at it, we really only have a couple of weeks before most people are taking breaks and you're traveling, or you've got projects that are really compressed. And I just wanted to, as I was reminding myself, I thought this would be a really good time to remind people to spend a little bit of time now. If you can block out 15, 20 minutes in the next week and apply the 80-20 rule to your holidays. Like, what are the normal things that you remember from the past years that either stressed you out, that took up your time, that annoyed you, that you were like, man, why am I even dealing with this? And I mean, it could be things unrelated to like being productive. Maybe it's, the fact that, I told myself I was going to eat better, or I didn't get exercise, when I was traveling, and, I felt bad afterwards. I just didn't like it. Or I left that one project with a loose end and, it was in my head the whole time. And just work through that stuff and see what you can do. And I really mean the 80-20 rule. Don't spend hours and hours on this, but just think through, what can I do so that, man, when I do travel, I'm going to see people hopefully I like friends and families. If you're going out and doing activities, so that you can really enjoy them instead of, I think we've all been there where you're kind of half present, and I really try to avoid that. And it happens, right? You can't avoid it all the time. Things come up. But just doing this little bit of planning is kind of like the review idea I talk about. Once a week I sit down and ask myself, what's going well, what isn't, what can I do about it, right? What can I delete, automate, delegate? But just thinking ahead now to the holidays, what is it that works well for me? For literally for myself, I need time to myself. I don't enjoy like nonstop interaction. I get totally burned out, and it's not the people around me. That's just the way I am. I really enjoy having some time to go read a book or go for a walk. So I had to recognize I need to tell people that they can't read my mind. And I, was like, oh, of course, that's it. That's one of the things I need to do. And for other people, I'm sure it's different, whatever it is you need to do, and then communicating that, coming up with some sort of an action plan, right, that is born out of that realization. So I think if you spend 15 or 20 minutes on this, you can really get a lot out of it and save yourself some stress and headaches, and realize too, maybe, hey, even back it up, like what can I do beforehand to get ready for that? Maybe it's saying I need to say no to some projects or some things going on. I need to be realistic about the time I have left before, traveling, things like that. Let's see. Something else I really like to, I realized this a couple of years ago, and I had been trying to do my annual planning in December before the holidays. And I don't know why it took me so long to realize this is a terrible idea. It makes sense from the calendar perspective, because we're all dealing with, January and the new year and wrapping up projects, yada, yada. But it is, right, it's a stressful time. You've got, again, travel coming up. You've got the holidays. Maybe you're visiting relatives, or you've got people coming in. There's parties and this and that. And now you're trying to cram in something additional that you don't normally do. And so finally I just said, this is crazy. I am not doing this. I'm just going to continue. December is normal in the sense that I'm not going to add anything I don't need to. And I pushed mine out to March or April, depends kind of how things line up. And that made a really big difference, not having to worry about it, not having to also worry about with employees, getting with them in December. That's no longer an expectation beyond the normal holiday, hey, have a great time, whatever it is, bonuses, things like that. Now it's, expected that, hey, we talk in the springtime, and that's when we do kind of the year-long review as well as planning. So I would encourage you to think about that if you're trying to do this right now and sweating, having the time to do it, or again, it's stressing you out, move it around, and put it at a time that is not normally maybe a stress point. So depending on your business, maybe if you're on the fiscal calendar, maybe doing your planning at the end of September or beginning of October is not a good idea either. So, finding that other time that works well for you so that you can really devote the time for it, because these things are meant to help you, not to just be a burden. So with that said, those are just some holiday things that came to mind today that I wanted to cover. I think getting ahead of that is really important. I know for myself, getting it in my mind, like, okay, this is the stuff I need to take care of when it's the first week of December and be thinking about, and not wait till the 23rd and be freaking out and wondering how I'm going to get it all done, or worried about getting work done before the end of the year or anything like that. So anyways, hope that everyone had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate, and looking forward to a great December and starting out 2020. So that'll do it for this week, and I'll catch everyone back next week.